Hi everyone and welcome back to Delicado. My name's Ben and I'm the sommelier here. And today we're sort of in the lead up to Easter. So what I'm thinking about is chocolate and wines to go with. We've looked at Pedro Ximenez before, which is the classic Spanish black sherry, which is typically used to match chocolate. We're looking at a new one into the country today. This is it here. It's made by a group called Equipo Navazos. Now these guys are quite famous in Spain at the moment because of the work they're doing. They're sort of breaking the mold that sherry has in people's minds. As a lot of the sherries that are generally consumed have a very short shelf life, so they're designed generally to be consumed young and fresh, and once you open them their lifespan quickly deteriorates. The wines change very quickly once opened and they just don't look as the winemaker intended. On the other hand, the wines made of Pedro Ximenez and the sweeter styles of sherry generally have a tendency to last longer. Now the thing with the Equipo Navazos is they're not actually a sherry bodega or a sherry house in their own right. What they do is they go to a whole bunch of sherry houses and they pick particular barrels that they're interested in. So the bottlings themselves are very limited. In fact, there's, this is bottle number 239. So what you're getting is a product that's very limited and it's sort of a one-off. So this one actually comes from just outside the sherry triangle. Typically sherry comes from an area called Jerez de la Frontera. This comes from further inland from Montilla Marias. Now in this area the soils are white and chalky, what the Spanish call alberitza. It's extremely hot. And the wines tend to reach high alcohols naturally. So this one is 15%, and it's an unusual bottle in that it's just 500 mils. Usually sherry would come in like a 750 mil, and occasionally in a half. Now that really does look like typical Pedro Ximenez. To me it's looking almost brown, green. It really shows its age. This particular bottling is bottle number 25. That's indicated on the front and the back label. It's not the actual number of the bottle, but it's the Equipo Navazos group name each of their sherries by number. So that deep green colour and the thickness of this wine indicates its age, and that because it's so intensely sweet, it really does have an affinity for chocolate. On the palate, it's got a quite high viscosity, it's quite thick. It is very sweet, but it's really well balanced with acid. It doesn't sit on the palate and cloy. There's real notes of caramel. Each of the black sherries or Pedro Ximenez wines are a little bit different. Generally they show things like dried fruits, dried pears, dried nectarines or stone fruit. Definitely raisins and chocolate, but as these wines age they have more sort of secondary notes, more chocolate, coffee, mocha characters. This one really does show mocha, so think coffee and chocolate together with hints of dried fruit. It's not too heavy either, and I think this would go really well with a chocolate not too high in cocoa. So, typically you can have those ones that are up to like 70% cocoa and can be quite bitter. This one I think will go with one about 40% or more of a sort of a milk chocolate consistency. Anyway, if you're looking for something to have in the lead up to Easter, try a black sherry from Equipo Navazos. Salute.